these are my top 10 eyeshadow formulas. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I have another video in Eyeshadow Palette Month where I'm posting daily all about eyeshadow and eyeshadow palettes. So if you want to stick around and check out more of my videos this month, I would love to have you here. But I thought I could come on here and share with you my top 10 favorite eyeshadow formulas. From everything in my eyeshadow palette collection, which eyeshadow palettes I either have a lot of by that brand because I just really enjoy the formula, or where I'm like, this is some excellent thing. I really enjoy this formula so much that I would want to buy everything, but I don't really do that because it's too expensive. There are some bougie options in here, and I think there will be a couple of surprises. So let me get to it. It will be no surprise to people who've been watching my video for some time that I'm going to mention Viseart here. I did a video the other day all about my Viseart makeup collection and all of the eyeshadow palettes I have. I'm holding up the Cashmerie here because this is one of my favorites that they do. I feel they have changed their formula a little bit in the past year or so. I feel the newer palettes are a little bit drier than this is, than I remember their formula being, but it's still very easy to work with, very blendable, and very easy to use. This also doesn't crease or create a lot of fallout, especially not if you have mature lids. I love this for that reason. I also like very intense things, but if I have to describe my perfect eyeshadow formula, it's one that blends well, that's pigmented enough that I don't have to build up so many layers, but I still want it to be buildable. I don't need it to be boom kapow pigment, one swipe and I'm done. I like to take things slowly because that's just what works best with my particular eye shape, you could say. And then I don't want there to be fallout throughout the day. So this I love for that reason, because this one ticks all of the boxes for me. All of these palettes that you're gonna see tick all three of those boxes. But Viseart takes the cake. They're like sitting lonely at the top, which is why I wanted to start there. Next up, we have a brand I feel very similarly about. This is Sydney Grace's Cozy Cafe palette. Sydney Grace is another one of my favorite brands for eyeshadow. A lot of the singles in my makeup collection that I keep in my singles palettes come from this brand because I just love them so much. I just don't think they're very good at creating color stories, which is why their palettes aren't always my favorite, but I do like showing the palettes in videos like this. I have 3 of them now. No, I've got 4. Got the Mountain Trail, which is a 9 pan, and I have 2, like the Heaven on Earth and the Love's Journey. This is one they came out with more recently. You get a cool tone row, you get this like dusty pinky row, peachy row, and these like green tone neutrals, you could say. Really pretty, very easy to work with. Again, blendable, buildable, easy to use, no fallout. A bougie option then is by Makeup by Mario. I really, just the minute I tried this for the first time, knew that this was going to be one of my favorite makeup eyeshadow formulas. This is the Ethereal Eyes, which I believe is now permanent, so that's lovely. But this was truly something special when I first touched it. I was like, oh, again, buildable, blendable, but what this has that a lot of other brands don't have is that you can really play with this and mix and match with it like you would do with a painter's palette. So what I enjoy so much about this is that how you use these shimmers is going to make them look wet on the lids, or if you build them up more, you can make them look super metallic. There are just so many options with these, and the undertones of these different colors in the matte range are also excellent. So Makeup by Mario, the minute I touched this and I stuck my brushes in and I started using it, I was like, that is a formula I've never worked with before, and I love it. So, would own every single palette if his palettes had color stories that appeal to me, but a lot of it is very matte heavy, which isn't really my thing. Then we have my Dior Smokey Essentials. This is from their Backstage line. That's what I'm talking about here particularly. I don't like all Dior eyeshadow, but especially this Backstage range. Not sure what they put in this, but this is absolutely stunning. It's more of a satiny formula, which you're gonna have to like, but this is, again, say it with me, easy to use, blendable, buildable, no fallout eyeshadow, and it's just foolproof every single time. And to sort of round out the easy to use, blendable, buildable, no fallout sort of category, we have to chat about Natasha Denona. This is the I Need a Nude palette. I've heard rumors there's going to be an I Need a Cool. Apparently there's people leaking pictures. There was a YouTube video and I wasn't sure whether it was real. But if that happens, we all know what we're gonna do here on the channel. I'm gonna buy that ASAP. But yeah, Natasha Denona's I Need a Nude is just wonderful. Really lovely, easy to blend mattes. I love that we get different types of shimmer in here. So some of it is a little bit more satin leaning, other things are a little bit more like a toppery kind of vibe. There's just different types of sparkle, and if you're a bit of a magpie like me, this is just going to give you so many options. I've mentioned so many times in the past, if I could keep only one eyeshadow palette in my entire makeup collection, it would be this. And then we have some things that are more indie related, that are a little bit more intense, but not super intense, because not all indie brands make those really intense boom kapow kind of eyeshadows that everybody's always raving about. And that's why Nomad is always on my list of favorite eyeshadow formulas. I really feel that they stand out against other indie brands for the formula that they do have. This is, again, say it with me, easy to use, blendable, buildable. It's a little bit thinner than most indie brands, even in their shimmer, but they still do really lovely things. The only downside I feel to Nomad is that they do have different price points depending on what palette you get. But overall, I've tried several of their palettes over the years, and they do some excellent things. They do really fun color stories. Like, I tried this last year, and I just put so many other Nomad palettes on my list, and I was like, Mikey, you don't need every single Nomad palette on the planet. It's not feasible, even though I like their color stories a lot. It's, of course, very fun and travel inspired, and I keep the boxes for mine because they always add something to the experience. And then a really excellent brand as well that, again, like Nomad, isn't super expensive, but still gives you lots of options, and it's a Cosmic Beauty. This is 20 shades, and I think this retails for under 50 euros, which I think is good, but it's also really, really good eyeshadow at the same time. Like, I just really love their color stories, their quality. Again, say it with me, easy to use, blendable, buildable. Like, it again ticks all of those boxes, but this does have a little bit more pigment than, for instance, something like the Makeup by Mario and stuff. It's not as sophisticated, where you can really sort of like play with it into oblivion and get different shades every time. This won't give you that, but this is still really beautiful, and I just rate them really highly for how fun it is that they do all of these really fun color stories, and they are still not really like pushing things into the really expensive things like some of the other things I'm about to show you. Bonfire by Glaminatrix. I was looking into my makeup collection like in preparation for my eyeshadow palette month sort of like videos, and I was like, I have a lot of Glaminatrix palettes now. I think, together with one of the other brands I'm about to show you, they are the most represented in my indie makeup collection. Like, of my indie eyeshadow palettes, I have the most by this brand and the brand that's coming next. So Glaminatrix had to get a mention here because I wouldn't have so many of their palettes if I didn't love them. And the Bonfire is a particular favorite because it's got these really nice cooler tone neutrals, these warm, spicy, orangey reds, and then this really fun pop of green. So many fun shades, a nice sort of like shifty shades there. So much goodness in this one palette, and like I said, if I have so many, I think I have like 8 of their eyeshadow palettes now. I have the Barely Basics, I've got this, Nearly Natural, Timeless Tones, Sugar and Spice, the Old Time one, Nearly Natural. Like, I've got like 7 or 8 Glaminatrix palettes. I'm like, what happened there? But they do some wonderful things. They do fun color stories, and they do excellent quality. And I like that in some of the like Sugar and Spice and also Barely Basics and those kind of things, that there are toppery things that sort of transform any look you do, which is another thing I really appreciate about Glaminatrix. Now, what other brand do I have so many palettes by? And that would be Bella Beauty Bar. I've already mentioned it in other videos in the past couple of weeks where I'm like, I all of a sudden own a lot of Bella Beauty Bar. And there's a reason for it. I have also decluttered some Bella Beauty Bar if it wasn't quite right for me, but the Ocean Jewel, like, these colors for summer, come on, these are so fun. These purples are really good, these blue tones are really good, these like greeny yellow tones, and then you have some neutrals. And Bella Beauty Bar is my representation for boom kapow in your face makeup, but then still it being very blendable. It's still being very blendable. Now there is going to be an honorable mention here that is a brand that I didn't take up here because some people may be wondering, where's Blend Bunny? I love Blend Bunny for their formula. I just don't always love their color stories, which is why they're not here. These brands that I'm about to that I showed you in this video don't also have really, really good formula, but they also have the color stories to match it. So if I can only pick 10, then those are going to be picked, but know that I also really rate Blend Bunny's formula. I think it's one of the best on the market, but there is a brand that I'm about to show you that kind of knocked them out of this top 10 this time round. But yeah, Bella Beauté Bar is that boom kapow in-your-face pigment, but yet it's still, say it with me, easy to work with, blendable, buildable, gorgeous eyeshadow, and this has the fun pops of color and the shifty shades, and they do so many wonderful things. Bella Beauté Bar is a firm favorite. And then this is the brand that actually caused Blend Bunny to no longer be in this top 10. This is Epic Beauty. They only have one palette out, so this is a bit risque, but they should be coming out with a new palette sometime in the next couple of weeks. So there is going to be a second Epic Beauty eyeshadow palette for sure. This is the Jewels of Eternity. It was their first launch. In case you don't know, this was launched by the people behind MONOLITH, and I was just wowed by how much I enjoyed this formula. A little bit similarly to like how I experienced the Makeup by Mario when I was using that for the first time, because I got this in and I was like, those are not my colors. I don't think I'm gonna enjoy this. Is this right for me? It was so intense when I swatched it. I was like, this is going to be a nightmare. But this, like the Bella Beauté Bar, and I hope they can hang on to this in their like next launches as well. It's easy to use, blendable, buildable. As intense as this palette looks on the eyes and in a finger swatch, this, I don't know what's in here, but especially in the shimmers, they just lock into place. There is no fallout. There's no weird flakiness that's really difficult to blend. These shades by Epic Beauty, they just kind of apply themselves. And for the kind of shades we get in here, I feel that's very rare to find, even within indie makeup. So if you saw my review for this at the end of June, remember that I was sent this in PR. Some of the other things I was sent in PR as well. But if I would have purchased this with my own money, I would have fallen like head over heels in love with this thing because it's just that good. It's just that good. And it's especially the formula that made me go like, wowza. I can't wait to see what else they're going to be doing. So that's just a quick little video today about my top 10 favorite eyeshadow formulas. Let me know in a comment down below what yours are. Maybe you feel a little bit differently than I do. And then I would like to thank you so very much for joining me here today. Check back again tomorrow because I make daily videos in August here for Eyeshadow Palette Month. So hope to see you again then. Bye-bye.